The digital age promised unprecedented access to information, a marketplace of ideas, where knowledge was just a click away. Instead, we find ourselves drowning in a sea of misinformation, unable to discern fact from fiction. Truth feels elusive, constantly shifting like a mirage in a desert. What we believe becomes a dangerous cocktail of facts, half-truths, and outright lies, mixed together in a confusing brew. This constant barrage of information, much of it misleading, leaves us grappling for solid ground, searching for stability. The sheer volume of content is overwhelming, creating a flood that drowns out the truth. We skim headlines, retweet impulsively, and accept information without scrutiny, often without a second thought. This information overload makes us vulnerable, leaving us exposed to manipulation. We become susceptible to well-crafted narratives, regardless of their veracity, easily swayed by compelling stories. The lines between truth and falsehood blur, making it difficult to distinguish one from the other. The very tools designed to connect us also serve as conduits for deception, spreading falsehoods far and wide. Social media platforms, once heralded as democratizing forces, often amplify the loudest voices, not necessarily the most truthful, creating echo chambers. Algorithms prioritize engagement, trapping users in echo chambers of confirmation bias, reinforcing their existing beliefs. This is the new information battleground, where facts and lies clash in a constant struggle, and the stakes are higher than ever, with the truth hanging in the balance. The adage, "Follow the money," rings especially true in the age of misinformation. In today's digital world, the pursuit of profit often leads to the spread of falsehoods. Lies, it turns out, can be incredibly profitable. The more sensational the lie, the more attention it garners. Entire industries are built on the back of deception. From fake news websites to fraudulent advertising schemes, the business of lies is booming. Clickbait headlines lure unsuspecting readers into a labyrinth of fabricated stories. These stories are designed to shock and provoke. The more outrageous the claim, the more clicks it generates. Each click translates to revenue, incentivizing the creation of even more outlandish content. But the financial incentives for spreading falsehoods extend far beyond online tabloids. Major corporations and political entities also engage in these practices. Disinformation campaigns, often funded by shadowy organizations, manipulate public opinion for profit. These campaigns are meticulously planned and executed. They exploit social media algorithms, spreading divisive content and promoting biased agendas. The algorithms amplify their reach, making it easier to influence large audiences. These campaigns capitalize on our fears and prejudices. They know that fear is a powerful motivator and use it to their advantage. They sow discord and erode trust in legitimate institutions. The damage they cause can take years to repair. Their weapon of choice? Lies disguised as truth. These lies are carefully crafted to appear credible and convincing. Their objective? Financial gain at the expense of societal well-being. They prioritize profit over the truth, causing widespread harm. It's a lucrative business model with devastating consequences. The pursuit of profit through lies undermines the very fabric of society. Throughout history, political leaders have exploited the power of propaganda. They understand that controlling the narrative is often more effective than wielding brute force. In the digital age, this manipulation has taken on new, insidious forms. Social media platforms, with their vast reach and ability to target specific demographics, have become potent tools for political manipulation. False narratives spread like wildfire, amplified by bots and echo chambers. Politicians, once beholden to journalists for disseminating their message, now bypass traditional media gatekeepers entirely. They communicate directly with voters, often through carefully curated online personas. Fact-checking becomes irrelevant in this environment. The line between political discourse and disinformation campaigns blurs. The result? A polarized electorate, susceptible to manipulation and distrustful of legitimate sources of information. In the attention economy, influence is currency. The more attention you can capture, the more powerful you become. And social media influencers, with their millions of followers, wield significant power. They have the ability to shape opinions, and drive consumer behavior. They shape trends, endorse products, and impact the way we see the world. Their posts can make or break a brand, and their opinions can influence public discourse. But this influence comes with a responsibility to truth. They must ensure that what they share is accurate and not misleading, a responsibility often overshadowed by the pursuit of likes and shares. The constant need for validation can lead to compromising one's integrity. The pressure to maintain a carefully curated online persona, one often built on unattainable standards of beauty, wealth, and success, can lead to a distortion of reality. Exaggerations become commonplace, and the line between real and fake blurs. Filters and Photoshop create illusions of perfection. These tools can make anyone look flawless, but they also contribute to unrealistic expectations. The line between authenticity and fabrication blurs. People start to question what is real and what is not. And when influencers promote products or ideas without due diligence, they risk spreading misinformation to a vast and trusting audience. This can have serious consequences. The pursuit of clicks and shares should not come at the expense of truth. It's crucial to balance the desire for popularity with the responsibility to be honest and transparent. The human mind is wired to seek patterns, find meaning, and crave certainty. Sometimes, clinging to falsehoods, even when presented with contradictory evidence, offers a sense of psychological comfort. We gravitate towards information that confirms our existing beliefs, a phenomenon known as confirmation bias. This bias creates echo chambers, reinforcing our preconceived notions and making us resistant to alternative viewpoints. Additionally, emotionally charged content tends to be more shareable and memorable. We're more likely to believe and spread information that evokes strong emotions, regardless of its veracity. This emotional reasoning can lead to the perpetuation of harmful stereotypes and misinformation. Unraveling the psychological roots of our attachment to untruths is crucial in combating the spread of misinformation. Fractured foundations, societal consequences of sustained lies. The consequences of living in a society where truth is constantly under assault are far-reaching and insidious. Trust, the bedrock of any functioning society, erodes. We become skeptical of institutions, experts, and even each other. Polarization deepens as people retreat into their ideological echo chambers, unwilling to engage in meaningful dialogue with those who hold differing viewpoints. Civil discourse breaks down, replaced by vitriol and ad hominem attacks. The very fabric of our social contract frays. We become more susceptible to manipulation, vulnerable to the whims of those who seek to exploit our fears and prejudices for their own gain. The cost of sustained lies is a fractured society, grappling with distrust, division, and a diminished sense of shared reality. A call to action, navigating a world awash in deception. We find ourselves at a crossroads. The information landscape, with its blend of truth and falsehood, demands vigilance. We cannot afford to be passive consumers of information, blindly accepting whatever appears on our screens. This is a call to action, a call to reclaim our agency in a world awash in deception. It begins with cultivating a healthy skepticism, questioning the information we encounter, and seeking out diverse perspectives. We must be willing to challenge our own biases, engage in respectful dialogue, and demand accountability from those who spread falsehoods. The future of our information ecosystem, and indeed our society, depends on our collective commitment to truth-seeking. The antidote to deception, critical thinking, and media literacy. In the digital age, critical thinking and media literacy are not just academic pursuits, they are essential life skills. We must equip ourselves and future generations with the tools to navigate the complex information landscape. This involves developing a discerning eye for online content, questioning sources, considering biases, cross-referencing information. It's about understanding the difference between opinion and fact, recognizing the persuasive techniques used in advertising and propaganda, and evaluating the credibility of sources. Educational institutions, policymakers, and technology companies all have a role to play in fostering media literacy. We need to empower individuals to become responsible digital citizens, capable of separating fact from fiction and engaging critically with information. The pursuit of truth, a collective responsibility. The pursuit of truth is not a solitary endeavor, it is a collective responsibility. It requires a collective commitment to honesty, integrity, and a shared understanding of reality. We must hold individuals and institutions accountable for spreading misinformation, support independent journalism and fact-checking organizations, promote media literacy education, and foster a culture of respect for evidence-based reasoning. The stakes are high. The erosion of truth threatens not only our individual well-being, but also the very foundations of our democracy. By embracing critical thinking, demanding accountability, and fostering a shared commitment to truth, we can navigate the challenges of the digital age and create a more informed, just, and equitable society.